Hi, today it's going to be a day that I will be releasing a short comedy film called Freela and Dodette Go on a Date. So I decided today to talk a little bit about that short, fun film. It is based on a poem called Two Creatures. Maybe some of you came to my book launch party and you saw the film already and you wonder why didn't I put it out last year. The reason why is because one of my sons watched the movie last year and he said, "Mom, it would be so nice if you actually put the drawing at the beginning and at the end." So of course the idea comes to my mind and I have to do it. Well, the artist in me really got into drawing, and here's the first picture, and you can see how actually nicely it flows from my drawing into the real character. And that's the Freela part of me. For those that are not familiar with the book, Freela is representing the intuition. Freela, free-spirited. She is extremely creative. Like people tell us, just dance as nobody is watching you. That's Freela. She wants to dance as nobody's watching her and she wants to create. Dodette, the other character, Dodette is the left brain. She is logic. Do this, do that. But I didn't realize that the last scene will have hundreds of bricks. Can you see that? I had to draw every single brick. Oh, gotta fix this one. I actually myself almost every day am, stuck between them because of the poems and because of writing in journal and of course because of working with good therapists. I've learned to accept those characters, and actually I've learned to do something that I think is absolutely amazing. I've learned to have fun with them. Where before I was just torn. Either I would fall into the extreme of working, doing the business and doing all my responsibilities, and then I would ignore that part of me that wanted to do music, or I would just fall into the other extreme and then not do the things that I needed to do. I only was doing things that Liliana wants to do, that Freela wants to do. And then I would ignore my responsibilities that would pile up, and it just was like that all the time until that poem came to me. I literally saw the characters in my head, and that's when I drew them. So today I'll share with you a fragment of this poem and maybe show parts of a film, and then I invite you to watch the film. I will give you the link underneath. Two creatures. Oh, I have so many talents. I can make the things I want. I can do this, I can do that. But the problem is, I don't. But it is not my fault, really. It is they who are to blame. The two creatures who live here, they are the ones who bring this shame. Dodette always keeps complaining and she makes me work a lot. She expects a perfect outcome and it is a waste if not. Yet the other creature, Freela, tells me how deprived she feels of her music, friends and laughter, and how we waste all her skills. So they argued and they quarreled. I tried keeping them apart, but it never worked. At the end, I say here in this book, if we can teach our children to use their intuitive mind together with their rational mind, we have given them a priceless gift for life. I think this book, not because it's my book, I think this book could be a really wonderful tool for teachers, parents, counselors, to kind of help children get to know each other, get to understand each other. In this short film, I'm kind of having fun with the two characters from this book. What you will see in there, it's like I'm stuck between what I really should be doing, what I need to be doing, which is at this point of my business at the beginning of the year, it's always tax, where in my case I have to do a lot of work. But then on the other hand, Freela just wants to do something else. Now, because Freela also is sometimes impulsive, that's where the troubles begin in this movie. One thing I would like to kind of maybe say as a director of this short film is that to kind of pay attention to the speed that I'm filming everything. So when you see the scenes with Dodette, they go a little bit faster because Dodette is extremely organized and she has the linear way of thinking, and she does things in the appropriate order. Now, on the other hand, Freela, her intentions are wonderful. She wants, everything and everybody be happy, but her sense of time is a little bit different than Dodette's. So that's why scenes with Freela are in slow motions, because when she enters that world of her imagination, her creativity, everything slows down and nothing matters. I know as parents, or maybe as you yourself saw it or experienced that, we go to this zone. I actually, of course, I'm talking in some ways about myself, absolutely love that space. And you will see me in the movie going to this world where everything slows down, where time does not exist. I think that's what would be wonderful for teachers to understand in depth what's happening in the minds of extremely creative children and in the minds of children that are extremely logical. And how do we find the connection? And the answer is in the book, of course. The answer is in the book. So in this film, I'm just showing these two personalities, and I found so fascinating how different friends of mine, when they saw that film, they would actually start talking about themselves or the children, who is more Dodette, who is more Freela. Just when I was publishing this book, I wanted somebody who does not know me to read the book and tell me what she thought, honestly thought. Because, friends sometimes tell you, oh, it's great, but they don't want to hurt your feelings maybe. So I was at the Nashville Young community meeting, and there was this lady, I think she's a psychologist, and she introduced herself, and I told her what I'm doing, and she said, oh, you write books? And I said, as a matter of fact, could you do me a favor? Could you read this book and tell me honestly what you think? So she said, oh, sure, I'd be happy to. So she started reading and, would say like, oh, that's cute. Oh, this and this. And then we got to this page of this book. And the strangest thing happened. She just she said like, oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. So my whole attention was like, okay, there is a mistake. What is wrong? And she said, Freela is way too big. And then I look at my picture, and for the first time, I myself realized that Freela actually is much, much taller than Dodette. I have never realized that. And she said, Freela should be smaller, Dodette should be bigger. And at that time, when she said that, she kind of got like you could feel the energy shifted in her. She got a little bit like embarrassed, a little bit, her face turned red, and she went like, oh my God. And then she said, you know what? I am realizing that in my life, I am Dodette. I don't take any time for anything creative. And we had this amazing conversation. But I realized at the time, wow, I saw myself, when I drew the picture, Freela is much bigger because I am, for some reason, the creative person is much bigger within me. There's nothing wrong with one or the other. We are just different, and we all desperately need each other. Like, if we would be all Freelas, the world would be like upside down. If we all be Dodettes, the world would be upside down. We all need to have all different spectrums of personalities. And the great lesson in this book is that we learn not to judge each other, but we replace our need to judge with our willingness to learn and to understand each other. So this book and this short film is my way of trying to have you understand maybe me more, but also maybe your child or your friend or your husband or your wife, to understand them better, to understand how they feel, and to understand how we can work together and make our lives better.